This is John Paul, right? I'm coming to you from Tokyo, Japan. Today we got the first review of Batwoman episode 1 from IGN. I think it's the episode pilot review, something like that, but they're going to get into like what happens, what they thought about things. In the end, they think it looks really good. It's got a lot of promise for the Arrowverse. I think it's going to be a hilarious comedy. Yes, it's cringy, but it's also a hilarious comedy. Let's take a look. And here it is, Batman Season 1, Episode 1 Pilot Premiere Review IGN. So yes, it's a pilot review, but whatever. Okay, this is a spoiler-free advanced review of the series premiere of Batwoman. This episode was screened at Comic-Con and will premiere on the CW October 6th. I can't wait for that review because it's going to be hilarious and it's going to be big. I'm going to skip around a little bit. This is a long, dense article, so, let's get to some of the major points. Batwoman, the first new live-action Arrowverse series in several years, and the first to star an LGBT hero. Yes! I thought... Okay, wait. She kissed a woman in the trailer. I thought nothing. I thought she was an LGBT hero. And, that's so important, guys. We gotta get that out first. It's an LGBT hero. That's the main thing to remember for this whole article, this whole show. That's the message, guys. But while the new series will have little trouble finding the void left by Arrow next year, it may face a more difficult battle when it comes to establishing its own identity. You got that right, because she took Batman's identity. Wow, what a bunch of brains IGN's got on them right here. So it goes on to say they're going to explore Kate's origin story. Okay. Yay. That's the first real mistake Batwoman makes in its pilot. Alright, so they admit it makes a few mistakes, and I've read through this, and they do admit it has some mistakes, some flaws, but like I said, in the end, it looks like a great addition. Alright, we'll get to that. This spin-off series instead doubles back to explore Kate's origin story. The pilot painstakingly traces her evolution from wayward ex-soldier to full-fledged superhero. Alright, it doesn't sound like a very bad idea to me to set up who she is, and like I said in a previous video, she has kind of an interesting backstory. She's a military woman, I believe she works on computers in military, so she's not the worst fit for running the Batcave and things like that. It's just, they have to push this huge "I'm a woman" message, and she's got to be this LGBT character. I know, I keep thinking of BLT. I get that abbreviation mixed up all the time. Anyway, they gotta push the agenda, they gotta push the girl power, they gotta push the men away. And if it was just a normal show, where she just took the role and there was a good explanation, maybe Batman said I gotta go away for a little while, maybe he sets up office somewhere else or something, he hands her the torch, it's done properly, I might even like it. But no, it's got to be this crazy message in our face. It doesn't help that the series is so front-loaded with new characters, just like Star Wars Episode 9 will be. Whoops, I added that in. Yeah, it's never a great idea to throw in a bunch of new characters when you're trying to establish a foothold for one character that hasn't really sold the entire audience yet. In this case, a character that sold about 3% of the audience. Where Kate was portrayed as a lone crime fighter in Elseworlds, here she has full roster of allies, enemies, and estranged family members to help flesh out the series, except for Bruce Wayne. Well, I don't know that for a fact, but I think not. So he's the only one who's not in it. He's like the best character in the Batman world, you could say. You know what I mean, as far as Bat people, Bat things in Gotham. Pilot never spends enough time with any of these characters for them to really stand on its own. What a surprise, the writing in Batwoman isn't so good. Oh my god, my mind is blown. I thought it was going to be good writing. I thought it was going to be a great story, but it had to deal with a message. Nope, it's bad writing too, apparently. The series may have done well to space out these introductions over the course of multiple episodes. As it is, neither Catherine nor Mary feel particularly integral to the plot in this first episode. They go on to say Sophie Moore, Megan Tandy, whoever that is done somewhat well as a character, so they go back and forth with some pros and cons here, mostly cons, and they're pretty negative through the article till they get to the end. They also go on to say here that the first major nemesis or the first major villain is a pretty big disappointment, and you could tell from the trailer that this enemy is a pretty big disappointment. She looks like a weak, unmade up female Joker with a terribly bland personality. You could tell she's horrible. It's gleamingly clear she's horrible. They say in terms of look and feel, it does a better job of standing apart from the rest of the Arrowverse. The show looks okay. You know, call me crazy, but it seems to have this color scheme like purples and, dare I say, a kind of feminine touch. And maybe it's just because there's like so many women and pushing this crazy agenda that it feels like that. But I don't know. It looks okay as far as the look on it. If I'm just looking like totally without my feelings here or my radar up about the agenda, it looks like okay. They say the music is pretty good. Wait, well, the score, they say. They didn't say the music. They say it's also worth pointing out how much Blake Neely and Sherry Chung's score stands out. So they mean the instrumental music, I'm assuming. The I'm a Woman song is a huge meme right now, and it's about the worst choice you could have for a superhero that's supposed to be serious and for all audiences. Verdict. While Batwoman shines a welcome spotlight on one of the Arrowverse's more recent superhero editions, the series cycles through too many familiar tropes in its first episode. Okay, the show's first major villain disappoints, and much of the supporting character cast come across as rehashes of other Arrowverse favorites. Still, the series looks and sounds great, and there's just enough spark when it comes to Kate Kane, Sophie Moore dynamic to suggest the series can grow into something more. So with all these cons they get into, with all the bad things they talk about that's expected, it still looks great. How is that? You guys, check out Batwoman on October 6th. I'll be checking it out because I'll be reviewing it and I'll be laughing my ass off. I'm doing shout-outs, special thanks, things like that. I'm in a rush. No shout-out today. Click that subscribe button and I will see you next time.